What's going on, everybody? Brian here, and I've got another game of Modern Warfare 2 for you. This is Team Deathmatch on Wasteland, as if you guys couldn't already see that, right? But I wanted to talk to you guys about something real quick. My wife's been a little freaked out the last few days. A couple days ago, we got a call from our township police department informing us that there's been, I guess, several break-ins in my subdivision of my neighborhood or township. It's not, I guess, not an official subdivision, but it just goes by another name because I guess it's been part of this town, one of the original parts of this town that I live in. So that kind of got my wife a little freaked out. I mean, I grew up in this neighborhood as a kid, and I moved back here, I don't know, maybe like 10 years or so ago, after I briefly moved away when I bought my first house. And, I mean, honestly, all throughout my life when I was a kid, even to the last 10 years or so since I moved back here, crime is not really an issue in my neighborhood. I mean, I consider where I live a nice area. I mean, it's not Beverly Hills or anything like that, but it's also not, one of the top 5 crime areas in the United States either. So I mean, I think it's a nice, safe area. My wife is actually out walking the dog with our neighbor right now, which I do every single night. It's dark out. There's really no problems. No one ever bothers them. They don't see anything really out of the ordinary. So, I mean, like I said, it's a safe neighborhood. You can pretty much walk around at night and not worry about anything. So, to get a call from the local police department, about a rash of break-ins in the neighborhood, like I said, kind of got her on edge a little bit. And honestly, it's kind of got me thinking a little bit as well. I mean, it's not something, like I said, I ever really thought about before, due to the neighborhood I live in. I mean, the only thing our local police department ever really has to concern themselves with is, the occasional, loud noise disturbance for a party. An occasional domestic disturbance call, which in most cases is nothing more than a bunch of family members yelling at each other for a little too long. The neighbors get tired of hearing it. For mother-daughter type stuff, father-son type stuff. Nothing major. There's no armed robberies or assaults or anything like that in my neighborhood. But like I said, once she got that call, she started looking online to a lot of those, I guess, do-it-yourself, home window locking mechanisms and whatnot, and those little extra clasps you can put on your windows to make sure they can't, slide. Except a lot of the windows in our house, they slide both ways, so they really aren't that effective. It's not just the all up and down windows or just where one side slides. So you really can't put those types of things in there, at least as far as I can tell. And plus, a lot of those too, you got to kind of screw into the window frame. And I really don't want to damage the integrity of any of the windows, because like I mentioned to you guys in an earlier video, the time is going to come where my wife and I are going to move. So we really don't want to do anything to compromise potential buyers' thoughts of the house. And do anything that they might not like or want to change, and that might cost them money, and thereby, possibly, reducing the amount of what we can sell the house for, causing any problems in that area. So we've been looking into, home security systems, which, like I said, isn't really something I ever really concerned myself with in the 10 years or so I lived here. But she called ADT the other day and got a price quote over the phone. It was like a little over around $1,000 or so for the equipment, the install and whatnot. I mean, the monthly monitoring isn't that big of a deal. I mean, it's only like $30 or $40 a month. That's no sweat at all. But it's the upfront cost that really gets me. And I looked into it, and I called Sloman's as well. They're actually going to be coming out to the house tomorrow to do, I guess, their safety inspection and, give me a price quote. And actually, we had a tag on the door from ADT as well, from the local sales representative, not the 800 number that she called previously. So I guess one of our neighbors was getting a security system put in their home. They got the same call and decided to take precautions. Because honestly, I mean, I couldn't imagine how I would feel if my house was broken into and a lot of things were stolen. I mean, obviously you feel incredibly violated, and it takes away that safe feeling you have inside your home. I mean, granted, we have insurance, and I think we have a pretty good policy with a great insurance company. So as far as getting any of our items replaced, I mean, that would get taken care of, other than obviously the hassle of having to inventory and document what was taken, and then wait till the check arrives, and then go repurchase everything, hoping you can get exactly what you had before, close to it. I mean, that's obviously a huge hassle you don't want to deal with. But the other thing that really entered my head is like priority number one, as far as thinking about that, is we have a dog in the house, as I'm sure most people do, have a pet of some kind. But if you have a dog, some burglars or people that are breaking into your home, a dog can be a big threat. I mean, granted, mine has a pretty loud bark and sounds fierce when he wants to, but he's harmless. If someone broke into our house, he'd probably just roll over and say, "Scratch my belly" or something, and look for a treat and want to get petted and whatnot. Maybe go get a toy. But you never know who's going to break into your house and what they're going to think of a dog following them around, or if a dog's going to bite them. I'd be more concerned first and foremost above anything that they would hurt my dog. I mean, that would absolutely destroy my wife and I if anyone broke into our house and and hurt our dog and did anything to him in that respect. I mean, an animal like that is a part of our family, and that that can't be replaced. Like a TV or a stereo or my Xbox or anything like that. And plus, with the other thing that I thought of too, when they asked about if we were interested in fire monitoring, and I thought absolutely. I mean, my dog entered my head again. I mean, we have smoke detectors in the house, which will obviously alert us if there's a fire if we're home. But if we're not home and there's a fire, I'd like to know that that signal gets sent out right away, so the fire department knows we have a dog in the house. So that, even if they can't save the house, they can still save my dog. So let me know what you guys think about security systems. For you older guys, if you have one, what you think of it. And for you younger guys, if your parents have one, and your thoughts on that as well. I really appreciate the feedback. And as always, I hope you really enjoyed the video. I will talk to all of you soon, and I hope you have a good one.